Hello there, fellow warriors. So it's Beck and Deb here, and in today's email we talked a little bit about the formless and the form, and how the place to make change in our life is to look back at the formless. And so we thought we'd do a little video today to talk to you about a really helpful metaphor that really brings this home.
Absolutely. And if you have heard this metaphor before, which you may have, what I would invite you to do today, one of the things that's really easy to do when we've already heard something is say, yeah, I already know that. So what we're going to invite you to do today is put that knowing aside and listen to the best of your ability as if you've not heard it before. So this is the cinema analogy. And we're going to go way, way, way back to when I was young, you know, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth.
When Noah built the ark.
Yeah, then, yeah. And see, when I used to go to the cinema when I was little, there used to be a projection box behind you. You know, you would come into the cinema, you would take your seat, and you would look at the screen, probably rather like you're looking at the screen right now, and see something in front of you. But the thing that you had to remember was that or you didn't have to remember, you didn't even have to know it actually, but when you saw how it worked, all the magic was actually happening back there. But although it's happening back there, you didn't look in that direction, you looked in this direction.
Yeah, and so very much what was going on back there, and I think it's more digital these days. So the analogy, we're taking you back to Deb's childhood, because in those days they used a reel of film. Back in that box, what is going on up there is that a reel of film is being put into a projector, and everything that happens on that reel is getting projected forward, and you're looking at the forward bit, and we often get into that story, don't we, and forget that it's coming from back there.
It looks like it's coming at you, doesn't
it? Yeah. And so very much the kind of analogy here is to look at what's actually going on in that box up there, because there's sort of almost three elements, and we've already pointed in this in the Warrior's Journey to those three simple principles. And the analogy here is three simple things. You've got electricity, you've got a light, and you've got a reel of film. There's some kind of story that's been set on a reel.
Yeah, so the electricity is like, in this analogy, that would be mind. So that is the energy behind life. That is what is creating this. And without electricity, if you imagine our projection box with the projector there, but it wasn't plugged into the electricity, nothing would be happening. You wouldn't be watching anything on the screen. So we need some kind of power. We need something to be powering this up for anything to happen at all.
And then you kind of have that light that has to shine through in order for something to happen on the screen. Because it doesn't matter if you've got the electricity and you've got the film, but you haven't got a light, you're not going to get anything out on that screen. So that light is what we term in the principles as consciousness. It brings everything to life.
And thought is like the film. So if you put a film in your projector, you've plugged into the electricity, you've turned your bright white light on, and before you put the film in, all there is your screen would just be pure bright, brilliant white. But the minute that we put a film in there, then some action starts to happen on top. So consciousness, this light, just brings to life whatever it is that is on that film. And that's the same thing that happens for us. It's like our consciousness brings to life and puts out there in the world as if it was there already and nothing to do with anything else. It puts it out there, whatever it is we're thinking. And consciousness really doesn't care. A little bit like the light in our projector. It doesn't say, oh no, sorry, no, that's a sad film. Sorry, can't shine the light on that. No. It just shines. No matter what that film is, consciousness just goes, okay, this is what I've got, that's what I'm going to give you, that's what's going to light up.
And just like if you're at the cinema, if you're watching a film, and if it is, if it's a sad film and you don't want to be watching it, you want something happy, or if it's a horror and you want something funny, or if it's a soppy romantic and you need some drama and action, the only place that's going to change is back there with the film reel. The only way you can have a different film playing out on that screen is if you swap the film reel. And that's the same, and that kind of in the principles what we're pointing to is the only time you're going to get a brand new experience is when you have a brand new thought.
Mm.
And that's massively why we're looking at our thinking and thought and how that works, so that we can start to make changes and begin to understand where change comes from by looking at what's really happening. Because if you were at the cinema and you weren't enjoying the film and you kind of waltzed up to the front and tried to, spray paint the screen or
draw a moustache on someone,
pull the characters off or anything like that, you're going to very quickly, you're going to get into trouble. Nothing's going to work.
Mm.
But if you're at the cinema and, you go and you change the film reel at the back, you're going to get a new experience very quickly. And the more that we understand that's the same for us as humans, the sooner change starts to happen in our lives.
And everything that we're doing here on the journey is pointing us towards how it is, because I can't sit here and think, right, I want to think something different and my thinking change. In the same way, if we were sitting in a cinema and a film was playing out, I couldn't just sit there and be like, I want a different film on there. I'd have to go to the projection box, I'd have to remove the film and put a new one in. And the Warrior's Journey, a lot of what we're talking about here is talking about how do we do that? Mm-hmm. Because I don't know about you, but when I first found out about what goes on in the projection box, I wouldn't know how to go and change a film. It'd be like changing a tyre on a car. I don't know how to do that. And actually, I did, for a little while, I did work in a theatre that had a cinema thing going. So I did actually find out how you do it. And there is actually a very, very specific way that you do it. And in this conversation, what we're talking about, we're pointing you towards how it is you start to have a different film playing, how it is you begin to have something more healthy going on in your life. And we've already sort of started pointing towards thinking and the fact that thought isn't our enemy, and the fact that we don't get to choose it and change it quite as easily as, I want a different thought. But everything we're pointing you towards is to enabling us to see the nature of thought and how it changes and what part we can play in that.
Yeah. So hopefully that analogy has just brought to life some of what we were sharing in today's email. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.